Honestly, I need to level up Crystal a little bit anyway, so it's not even a loss. I'm confused, dude. That's bad. Wow, dude, I randomly found a repel. Are you kidding me? That's sick. That's actually sick, dude, and my mudkip died. Are you kidding me, dude? Yo, what's poppin', gamers? WQ here, guys. And have you ever wondered what would happen if you tried to beat Pokemon Yellow version, Crystal version, and Emerald version all at the same time with one controller? Yes, gamers, that's right. I have one controller that controls all 3 games simultaneously. The way I'm able to do this is using 3 different emulator windows and having the same inputs on the controller to control each emulator. So if I press the start button, it'll open up the pause menu for all 3 games. I actually did this with a Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald randomizer before. This one's quite a bit different though, because the maps are all different. You can't simply walk in the same direction. At any rate, let's get into this run. So early on in the speedrun of Yellow version, they catch a level 6 Nidoran with 1 Pokeball, and they use RNG manipulation to do this.
Okay, that was it.
This is totally off the table for me, so I had to manually catch a Nidoran. Running into a Nidoran is already a pretty low chance. It's going to be a lower level Nidoran, and then on top of that, I had to do that while playing 2 other games, so that lost about 30 minutes just for Yellow version to really do that. Okay, sweet. Nidoran, we got another Nidoran. Okay, so last time I ran into a Nidoran, I killed it with Thunder Shock. I'm 6 levels higher. I'm just going to Thunder Wave. We're just going to try to catch it with Thunder Wave. We're going to do Fish Hat once I get to Nidoran. Let's go, dude! There's really no way to beat Brock with Pikachu, so you need this Nidoran. Falkner and Roxanne don't have this problem. You can kind of just walk through them. I was able to walk through a lot of the game with a lot of the versions. Funny side note, I actually randomly found a repel in Crystal version. There were a few other items I found randomly on the ground in these games by trying to play in one screen and then the other screen accidentally picks it up. Emerald version ran into a very serious problem when I had to fight my rival. I was not worried about May at all. I figured I'd just mop this fight up. But then what happened was she sent out a Grovyle, and this thing's been growing grass energy this entire time. So the Grovyle actually knows Absorb, and my Mudkip evolved into a Marshtomp. And Grovyle's timed 4 effective against Marshtomp with Absorb, which heals him half the damage. So he was doing over half my HP with 1 Absorb, and then he would heal half his HP. Like, there was not a lot I could do about this fight. So Emerald version actually lost like 40 minutes on this fight. I had to go train and buy some more X attacks. I have to hit him with a tackle here, and it has to kill. Oh my fucking god, dude. I have to crit here or something. I'm confused! That's so bad. I lost all my X attacks to that. Wow, dude. How do you beat this guy? At this point, Crystal version got really far ahead of both Yellow and Emerald. Also, guys, if you don't know anything about Crystal version, it's actually like really easy. It's basically completely free. None of the gyms or Pokemon trainers are high level at all. There's almost no challenges, and you get a bunch of HM slaves. There's no real puzzles, so it's like basically not a problem at all if I can get past the early game. So I basically AFK'd on Crystal version, like, who even cares? Let's just focus on Yellow and Emerald. At this point, Yellow was farther behind than Emerald, so I wanted to focus on that. The hardest part about this run is definitely the fact that the 3 maps are going in different directions the entire time. Certain areas like Rock Tunnel are so hard to clear with going through the other 2 areas. Pretty much for places like Rock Tunnel and Mount Moon, I would buy repels and then try to clear that dungeon, while the other 2 versions are either stuck in battles or they are kind of AFK'd on random areas. At this point, I was about middle way through all 3 runs, and Yellow version was actually really far ahead because I had been putting so much emphasis on it. I thought Emerald was doing okay too. Emerald version's a little bit longer of a speedrun anyway, so it was slightly behind, but it was ultimately doing great. And then Crystal version was doing perfect because Crystal version is so easy. All 3 of my games were doing fine until I got to the 7th gym leader for Emerald version, Tate and Lisa. These twins are a real pain. There seems to be a power spike up to these twins. They're also a team battle, and they both are psychic users, so this fight can be kind of hard. What makes this double battle so hard is because I'm only using 1 Pokemon for the rest of the battles. My Swampert basically swamps the enemy Pokemon no problem. He's a monster. But in this double battle, my secondary Pokemon usually dies to their Earthquake or the Xatu, so I kicks him out of the fight. This fight actually is super hard because it becomes a 2-on-1 where both of their Pokemon do decent damage against my Swampert, and Surf isn't doing very much damage to them.
One eternity later.
So I was able to beat this fight by using 2x special attacks, which raises the damage of Surf, and then switching in the Wingull, which doesn't take damage from Earthquake. And then I revived the Wingull and switched him in again, which gave me another turn. By that time, I was able to defeat the enemy Pokemon, and I made it closer to a 1-on-1, and I was able to stall it with Hyper Potions to actually beat this fight. Unfortunately, I lost 40 minutes on this fight. Like, this fight was brutal, and the other problem with Emerald, it was a gym behind, and there's a ton of plot. So Emerald was like 2 hours behind at this point. In fact, it was so far behind, I pretty much just stalled out on Victory Road for both of the other games. Oh my god, Poochyena is evolving! That's actually a negative. That's my opinion. Can we just cancel it? Okay, good. Fast forward a ton of plotline, and I did catch the Rayquaza with my Master Ball. I didn't realize this when I was initially recording, but I got to Rayquaza, and I couldn't find my Master Ball, and I was freaking out because I need this Rayquaza to beat the game, and since I'm playing 3 games simultaneously, I figured I threw it away. Wait, what the fuck, bro? And then I realized my Swampert is actually holding the Master Ball. Somehow I gave him a Master Ball at some point. Literally no clue how or when this happens. What? Hey, why does he have a Master Ball? What? Why does he have a Can you run from Rayquaza? Why does he have a Master Ball, dude? How does it even happen? So I ran away from Rayquaza, and apparently if you run from Rayquaza, you can actually re-enter the screen and Rayquaza will respawn. So I was pretty lucky that this came together at all. We get to Victory Road, and we eventually get to Elite Four with all 3 games. So Elite Four is a pretty big part of a casual Pokemon speedrun, and this triple run, I want to do all the fights at the same time. So this is a pretty heavy part of the run. Emerald's actually going to be the easiest part because Rayquaza is level 70 and can just stomp everything. It's like not a problem. Plus I had a ton of Hyper Potions. I was not worried about Emerald version at all. In fact, I pretty much ignored it. Crystal version's really easy as well. Your guy is just over leveled. In Crystal version, everything's under leveled except for Red at the very end of the game. I'm not even going to Red, I'm just going to Elite Four. So pretty much just everything's super under leveled. It's something I just can ignore. Yellow version, on the other hand, is really difficult. In these fights, you have to use X accuracies and spam Horn Drill on a lot of the fights and use elixirs between the fights in order to get your PP back, in order to actually beat the fights. Not only that, the fights in the yellow version are really difficult. So I go into the first fight, I was able to clean it up with Emerald version. Crystal version was up next, not a big problem, whatever, we got through it. Yellow version, I actually forgot to buy items, so I had to let my guy get KO'd and come back and try a second time. The next fight was easy for all 3 versions. No problem, I sweeped that, cleaned it up. Alright, the third fight actually was a problem. Pokemon Emerald, which is supposed to be my easy fall asleep, take a nap version, I actually died to Glacia's Ice Pokemon. Ice is ×4 effective against Rayquaza. Even though he's level 70, he still dies to Blizzard and Ice Beams. So he unfortunately died while I was focusing on another version, and I'm like, whatever, you know, I'll just revive him. I go into my bag, and I have 1 revive, and I'm like, uh-oh, I forgot to buy revives. Bro, I have 1 revive, are you kidding me? That's my only revive. If that thing dies again, it's GG. I have hundreds of thousands of Pokédollars. I can buy tons of revives, but I completely spaced out. Eventually, I was able to get through this fight pretty perilously. The next Elite Four up was the Dragon User, and this was probably the easiest of all of the Elite Four. I actually took a nap during this fight. I don't even remember what happened on it. I just remember it was really easy. The 5th Elite Four was probably the hardest, and this is where things changed forever. Crystal version had no problem with the champion of the Elite Four. He was completely free, and it was the easiest thing I've done in any Pokemon game. Emerald version ran into a problem where 3 of Wallace's Pokemon actually knew Blizzard and Ice Beam, and he's ×4 effective against Ice Beam. So my Rayquaza almost died to one of these Blizzards. I got super lucky and was able to clutch it out with my alpha gameplay. So not a problem. Unfortunately, my Nidoking wasn't able to make it past Gary. Gary has infinite PP, so I can't stall out with Hyper Potions. And not only that, but Hornbill only has 30% accuracy, and he doesn't outspeed the Alakazam. Remember when I was saying that the yellow version speedrun actually manipulates and catches a perfect Nidoking? Unfortunately, I had to catch a random Nidoking, and my random Nidoking was nowhere near as strong as the speedrun Nidoking. So he died, and I had to go through the entire Elite Four again. I actually leveled my guy up, and I had to spend 30 minutes looking for an elixir because I was out of PP restored items. I eventually found some PP restored items in like the weirdest locations. Like, has anybody ever found these in their life? Like the one next to the Pokemart in Vermilion City. Where does this even come from? At any rate, I was able to sweep through the Elite Four with yellow version again. It wasn't as bad after you're 10 levels higher than the speedrun. I finished with an end time of 9 hours and 10 minutes, which is over what I was hoping. I was really hoping to get it done to like 7 or 8 hours. My Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald playthrough was about 10 hours. This was 9 hours, so this is faster. But the individual speedruns of these games are like 2 hours, 2 hours, and 3 hours. So if you literally just took an average runner and they did these games individually, it would have been faster than this. Okay, to be fair, I just learned these games this week, and also playing all three of these games at the same time is insanely difficult. It was way easier to do Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald Rando with one controller because you can actually move two screens while the other one does a fight. In this, none of the screens are going in the same direction. It's insanely difficult. Yeah, I'm not sure I ever want to do this again, but it was fun while we did it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later. If you want to help support the channel, make sure to subscribe to me on Twitch with Twitch Prime. You can also head over to my Patreon and sign up for one of the gaming tiers. On Patreon, I'm trying to raise gamers into alpha gamers with real gameplay advice, real coaching. I want to level you guys up. There's a Discord to join it. Those are the two best ways to support me. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.